Hi guys, this is Arif from TechShare. Today I'm going to cover quickly about the website design part. How you are gonna quickly create your website in Sitecore SXA. So I have created two videos before where I would have shown you guys how can you create your headers, footers, and different things, copy pasting from other site, maybe the design you already have. You just need to copy paste different things and create that. But for now, what I'm going to do is it's a different approach. It's a quick approach that I'm going to show you today. So this website, so you can see here, this is already running here in my local host, and this website is just, I have done that part. But this site is completely static at this moment. So first of all, I'll show you how good I did that part, like how easily I did that. So I'm gonna show you that part first. Number two, I'm gonna show you how can you make some content dynamic. So for example, this part, we call this section as a main section here, and you would have seen a couple of things like this image, then there is a link and also the description, and then there are three of them. So I'm going to show you how can you create this one dynamic, managing through the Sitecore content. So let's jump into that. So the design at this moment that I have, so I copy pasted the screen.css file here, and that's the HTML, static HTML. And if I run this application, so you'll see, let me run it here. Then you see this is basically the site that I have. This is the design. Now I'm going to bring this website to here. That's the idea. So now you can see already it's there. So what I did first. So first of all, we need to bring that CSS, right? So this is the important thing, to bring that CSS. So that is easily possible through that media library. So if you go to media library and then your themes, then basically this is my folder where in that everyday things you have my theme basically for that. So everyday thing is basically my website here, and then here you can see under the style I have this screen file, screen.css file. Basically that's that one. So I basically uploaded that CSS file here. So that's the first thing. Second thing I did is, I actually removed all the other base themes that it was using, because, when I have that base theme means the site will load, some other CSS file related to that component, that default, or all the other related, module um, sort of CSS files, everything will be, so you can basically do that on later on. So that's why for now, I just keeping everything out, so that only my CSS that I am providing here will be, getting impacted in my website. So that's the very first thing I did. Second thing I did is, if you see this home, um, and if you gonna go with the presentation details, then you would have seen um, the custom MVC layout I'm using, right? So what is custom MVC layout? Basically, it's the same copy of the MVC layout out of the bus provided one by SXA, but why I need to use is, if you open that template, then you see there is a div under the body, and it has a class ID associated with this page, and that is important because they also use this ID in the style. So I just use the same layout file but added on ID here. I'm maybe there are some other way you can achieve that one, but I just simply easily did that one quite easily. Now after that, what I did is, if you go to the presentation details, um, then you would have seen I have that common section. The common, we have the header and footer, and you can see here they are basically so let me go and check this out. So if I now go to header, for example, first, and if I want to run that through the experience editor, then I just need to show you guys from where I am getting that design, or you can say the component I am getting. So here you can see I'm using the page component, and in the page component there are a couple of basically variants. So I am using the header one here. So yeah, so that's all. So I will expand the page component now, but and in the footer, you would have seen I am using basically the footer here. So let me edit that one, and here underneath that you see the page content I am using footer. So header and footer is done. Now what is header and footer here in the page content? So we need to go to the rendering variants, and then in the page content you see I have header and footer here. And what is it? This is just basically the scriven component I'm using here. In the scriven, what I did is I simply copy. So this is a tag header, means that would be a header HTML element, and underneath I am simply using some static content, basically copying pasting this header from here. So this is the header, right? So you don't need that header part because that is already be covered through that element. I just need underneath that elements. So that's there. So that would be wrapped through the header automatically. And then CSS file, if you have any CSS file attached to the header which is not here, we are using that one through the CSS automatically through the header selector. So that's different. That's why we really did not need to add any CSS class, because the design doesn't have that on. And in the footer, similarly, I'm just copy pasting that on, and this is the footer. So the header footer is very easy. Take a second and done. And then what else we have in the page component? So we have a navigation. So forget about that one for now. Now in that page design, what else we have? Let me quickly go through. So common section, we also have a section, which is very important. In the section, you see I have basically three different section. One I am calling it main section, how to section, and atmosphere section. Why I call that way is because if you see that website, the static website, and the way they design it basically is they call it, this first section is a main section, right? And then in the HTML they also call this section as a main. I'll show you. And then this one is they are calling atmosphere section, and this final one they are calling is as how to section. So now if I open that is static HTML, then you will see after the header we have a section called main section, another called atmosphere section, and the final one is called how to section. So how I divide this one in our website in SXA is basically I am creating three different three different, we could create the page content component, or we can create basically anything that is part of page content, like your promo, because promo has some fields that we could later on use it when we are going to change this to dynamic content, right? So what I did is I have created three different section, or different components in the promo. So I'm gonna show you now, then you will understand. This is very easy, man. So here, where is it? Sorry. So now here you will see so this is basically the page design, but in the page design, let me open. So you see this is basically the atmosphere one, and then how to one and main one. Let me open the main one, then you see this is the main one, right? And they're coming. So if you select this one, then you see they're coming basically from promo. Okay, promo section main. So now if you go to the rendering variants and promo, then you see they have created this three section here. This is basically your component, or you can say where we are putting the design. So in the section main, I am not using any scriven here. I could have used this one, and that would be even easier for us, because you can just simply paste it the HTML, and that's all. But I did some sort of thing here. So what I did is I created manually the section, I mean all the tags that it uses underneath that main. So if you open the main, then it has a section and a class main name main. So this is the section, and the class is main, and underneath that I have a aside, which is the aside, and inside the aside I have these different div and data. So what I did is basically I am just whatever I have, I am just adding them manually, which is sometimes so boring, complex. I think the easiest would be to use the scriven. But forget about that one. So the similar thing I did for other one, right? So I have now three different variants. One is section main, how to an atmosphere of the promo component. So we can now easily basically, so what I did is so in that page partial design, I have already created these three, which basically means you can go anytime and select any of them in your page. So in the page, there is a default, and you can see here I have already brought that header and footer here. That basically means if you go in the experience editor, then this is basically our common layout for all the pages that we are going to use. So it has a header and footer, and this section would be dynamically coming later. So that we added basically through our page. In the home, because okay, let me show you one thing. I think you already know that on the page design, I have mapped my home to the default page design, which is that one, and the default we have header and footer, which basically means if you have a home, it will automatically be attached with your header and footer and all the different partial design that is already attached to your default page design, right? So in the home, let me open that in experience editor. Then you see the header and footer, you cannot change anything here because that's coming from your partial design. But here, so this is the first component, promo component section main. Then this is the second one, atmosphere component, and the last one is how to component. And then I actually added other one here. So the easiest, I mean, the flexibility here we are getting here is, so you can go anytime here, add, and then in the page content, under the promo, basically that's the promo, you can select that one. And we are not using the data source at this moment, so there is no data here, but I'm just I'm not going to create anything, but later on we'll show you how can we make this thing dynamic. But let me just select this main section, for example, and then the promo is coming here without any data because the data source is at this moment empty and it's not being used at all. But see, the section is coming here, and then we just need to select anything. So for example, I'm going to select the main, and you can see here that promo is filled with all the design and style that we have underneath, and then they're coming automatically. So you can make as many promo as you wish, but it is not giving any value at this moment because they are all static, right? But my point here is how easy it is to create a site like this. And then even though you can see there is a glitch here, but when the site will run, then the design will be all right. Let me yeah, so now what I can do is, one thing though, you can see here, this one is I mean, you can basically add some value here, right? So this one is not a static thing, and when you click this CTA call to action button, for example, then you can even select that link. So this one is sort of dynamic, this header part. So let me jump into that header and see what we did already, so that we're getting this behavior for header, not for anything else. So if you go here in the header section, in the page content, because that's where we have the header, and then you can see here we are using Scriban, right? And then Scriban, we are using some dynamic placeholder here. So you need to learn the Sitecore Scriban and the syntax and the way it actually allows you to get the data through your different data sources or your context. You just need to go through that, and very easy. I'm gonna add on link in the description so that you can go and check different syntaxes of Scriban. But Scriban is very powerful sort of templating language, and it is not basically developed by Sitecore but some other guy, but Sitecore simply introduced that one in SXA. So here you can see what I am here telling Sitecore that, hey, item basically means an item which will be as a sort of data source of this component. Take the title field, and then also take the content, and then CTA, and based on the field, so this field is basically, this title is a simple text box, this one is a description, and this one is a CTA, a link automatically rendered accordingly in the HTML side. So when we are assigning this header to here in the home already has those different fields. So it has a content, it has a title, and then it has a CTA. So from where we are getting basically those content here. So we need to apply similar kind of things for any of these thingy here. So let me quickly go with that approach. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close everything from the right, and then here let me do one thing. So yeah, I mean, you could go here and change this. So we have a promo already here, and you can go and maybe create a Scriban or anything here, and in this way it is also possible because it has a field sort of, you can add a field here. So if you right click, then you see there are different ways you can basically bring the field, so that way you can make it dynamic. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the standard way. So I'm not going to use the promo here. The Sitecore standard is Sitecore will not recommend you to use a lot of variants because Sitecore doesn't like this one. Why? The main answer is, it will make your content editor's life really, really difficult. And so what we can do is we can create our own component, not a promo, but a separate like promo. And first of all, why promo? Why not a new one, right? Entire new one. Well, I mean, you don't need to necessarily always create a new one, new component from the scratch because SXA has all the different component already. You just need to clone it and just modify some part of that component that you need, and that's all. But yeah, and sometimes you definitely need a new entire one. That is also very easy. Maybe I'll create a new video, next video basically, where I'll show you how can you create a new component from the scratch entirely. The controller you need to create by your own and all the data sources and everything. But that's a different story. But let's do one thing. Let me quickly create a promo for us. So what I can do is I need to go to paste content. So I'm now going to go with the rendering section of our application. So layout, rendering, and in the feature level, you see we have experience accelerator grouping where we have the paste content, right? And now this promo we can let me just inspect quickly. So in the promo you can see here that we have a controller which is basically a SXA controller and variance controller. And what is variance controller is basically, if you use variance controller, then you will be able to support that variance facility. Means your component will allow the content author to be able to create different variants. If you don't like that, or if you are restricted to that, so you're not allowing user to create different variants, then you need to inherit the standard controller of SXA. I just need to says that one here, and then here you can see here there is a parameter template which is fine. It will push the parameter data that you need. You can define specify in the design time, and then also data source, which is also important. So it has a data source here. So what we are going to do is we are going to go and we say, okay, let's duplicate that one. That is the easiest way you can do. So in the script section, we can say clone this rendering. That is the standard or recommended approach of Sitecore to have your own. So you can say here, this is going to be my section. So this will be our main section component, right? So you can say main section component, right? And then rendering class, I'm taking this one as promo because my intention is not to touch the entire design part of it. So when I am going to use this one, then still I want my, if there is any class for promo, that will also be applied here. But if you need a separate CSS class, obviously you can add that one because our design doesn't really consider this CSS because we have our own CSS. So that's why it doesn't matter. But why I'm saying this, you can actually change this one as you need. But for now, just take it. And the parameter, what I'm going to do is I am going to make our new parameter. Why I'm doing this is because I want everything separated. This is entirely a new sort of component I'm going to create. And then here I'm say, okay, make a copy of original data source. So I will have my own data sources because I need to specify some more field maybe. You never know. So that's why. And then I'm saying is view. Okay, I'm not gonna touch here. Maybe you can basically use your new class here, but let's just take this one because from the CSS HTML points of view, I am really don't want to change anything there. Okay, now let me proceed with that. Done. So now you can see here we have a main component section. The interesting thing we need to do is to change the icon because we are creating our own component. So why don't we just have a new sort of section or icon completely by our own. So maybe I'm gonna select this one here, save it, Now let me explore this one a bit. So we have a variant controller, and this is basically SXA one. We don't need anything, any customization we cannot do there because this is completely their own. And then here you can see the parameter template. I have my own main section component, which is important. And then here in the data source template, we have our also data source main section component. So what we are going to do is we now will check quickly and see if we need any more field in that data sources. How can we verify that? So let's go there, main section component. So in the template, then in the feature, we have the experience accelerator, and then in the page content, go to page content, then you see we already have this main section component folder, and then main section component here, right? And then it uses the existing field that we have, so I'm not going to touch here. What we need to do is we need to be able to support our dynamism that we are going to achieve here. So here we have this sort of component that we are going to make, dynamic, right? So it has a description, it has a link, it has an icon, and basically it has 1, 2, 3. So we need this sort of field 3 times, means 6. And interestingly, it has already so it has a promo text, it has a promo icon, it has a promo link. So this is a set, one set, and it also has a promo text. So we also need a promo icon, which is already there too, and then we also need a promo link for 2. And then similarly, promo text 3 is there, but we also need a promo icon 3 and promo link 3. That's all. So then what will happen is all those fields we need to we will hold all the data that it has, and it will basically bring everything from there, and then we'll simply support the dynamism of this component through that. And another thing I need to quickly check is the main section component. Let me check the data source sort of location. So you can see here it is pointing basically this main section component folder, and inside the data, right, inside the data it is expecting a folder here where we can basically store our data sources whenever we create the data. So for that, let me quickly go in the data folder and then see if we have this folder or not. If not, not a problem. What I can do, I can create insert from template, and you see we already have a folder template here, main section folder. So we are going to basically create this one inside the data so that experience editor experience editor can pick that folder for us later on. All right, now quickly I need to make it shorter, but it is going a bit longer. So okay, let me go to the here in the data source. Then we need basically, so promo icon, this 3 set is there, then we have promo text 2 and promo icon 2, promo text, promo icon, and promo link 2 we also need. So we say promo link 2, which is basically a general link. And where is the general link? Here. And then here that would be basically a linkable homes that will start linking from my home, and promo link. So now promo icon 2, promo text 2, promo link 2 is there. Now we have the promo text 3, then we also need promo link 3. Okay, and then that would be also general link, and copy this one here. And then the number 3 is promo link 3, promo text 3, and promo icon 3. Let's do that, promo icon 3. And basically icon is image, so you can say this one is image. And you must specify the source, which is recommended by Sitecore. When I say recommended by Sitecore, believe me, that's true, because I am a Sitecore employee. So yeah, save it. So now all done. Now cool, so we're ready to support the data. Now what we need to do is we need to go and create my dynamic variant here. So now In the page content, we have the promo, right? So now we also have the main section component. This is under your rendering. So let me go to my this section, and then here we need basically, so in the rendering variants, if you refresh this rendering variants, you will see that particular component is not appearing here, because we are not installing or creating any module that basically support this kind of thing. But you can basically go and create your variants here. So you can say this is basically a what is it, main section. So let me quickly do from here, copy paste from here basically. So let me, in the feature, paste content, and we just need this copy name, important. It should be masked, otherwise there will be a problem, right? So now here in the rendering variants, let me go insert a variants, and I name this one here. And well, I mean, you can obviously sense the icon so that you understand this is the one you're looking for. And here you can say, okay, let me create a variance, and we say this is my Scriben variant, Scriben main section. Just name anything that you like. And then this section, we need to create a Scriben template, and we say this is Scriben. No worry. Now here in the Scriben, we need that basically HTML that we need. So here, if you open that main here, so this is my main section, right? From here to basically here. So what I'll do is I'll copy underneath everything under the main here, copy, and then here in the Scriben we can say this is a section, so we don't need that one. And class, the class is for that is main, so say main, right? And now for now we're just copy pasting. Okay, save it, and then we'll make thing dynamic later. So we copy pasted this one here, and now what we'll do is we'll basically use this component here. So in order to use that one, we need a partial design, because we are following proper. So we can say sections. Oh, sections is already there. We can say sort of, SXA sections, whatever, I mean, that you need. And here in the sections, I say, okay, let's make a main section. In the main section, if you now go to presentation, experience editor, then here what we are going to do is we are going to add that component, and part of your page content we have this what is it, oh, it's not coming here. So how can we do that? That's very easy. You need to basically make it available through the available rendering. So in the available rendering, we have the page content, right? So in the page content, you see they are all there, existing one. So what you need to do is you need to bring our one here, and through that renderings, you just need to select that renderings here. It's loading, it's taking some time. And in the feature, experience accelerator, page content, and this is the one we're looking for, right? And save it. Once you save it, then when you will be here, right here, add, and then if you go page content, then you see the main section is appearing right here. Select this one. Now, important, we need to create a data source. So this one component, this is basically going to your data folder. So I would like to create here. So let's say simply, because this is important, because now we have a data source and we are reusing the data of the data source. So if you, for example, want to use the same component in a different place in the same data, then you can simply reuse that data source. Otherwise, you can create your own. The main section component is fine. Now see, they're correctly appearing without any issues. and I don't need to select any variant now because this is my new, or you can say own component. So it is basically the default variant, and that would be that, and it is correctly appearing, so there is no issue here. But now that data is definitely dynamic, not dynamic, it's static, so we need to change this one slightly. And for that, what we can do is that's really easy. So let me go here. Need to open that Scriban, sorry, main section Scriban. So here I'm going, and then uh, presentation, rendering variant, main section Scriban. So I just need to copy something here. And now let me open this one here in a text pad quickly. Um, and then let me quickly see what we have here. So we have all this, so there is a description. Obviously we just need to bring that on through your field that we have a title here, and then there is again an image one, this one basically a link, general link. So the new sort of script I'm going to use is very easy, you see here. um, so what I'm going to do now is I already have saved one. It would be easier for me. So see here, this is even easier. So we have a class, they are all same. So I am using here the promo link one, promo text one. This is a general link. And then here I am using link two and then link three, right? So if I now copy this one here and simply paste it here and save it, now when you refresh, then you see basically the image is still there, hard coded, so we will definitely do that one quite easily. But quickly I'm showing you now is the link is dynamic, the text is dynamic now. Okay, and you can even add your text, not here but in your, when you are going to assign this one to your items, then you can basically create everything, or it will populate your data automatically. So how can you use this one is basically, so this component is ready. So what we can do is we can go quickly our home page here in the home and in the experience editor. Now what we are going to do is here, this one we don't need, so we are basically deleting this one because we need a dynamic one. So now here let me select the correct place, and here add here we are going to use this page content and main section, right? And then we are going to use this main section component data, I mean sort of data source. And so when we are using this, see here, um, they are all coming rightly fine. So we just need to save it and provide the data that we need. So we save it, right? Now let's put the data here. So in the data, refresh, because we are not populating your data through the items but a separate data source, which is also recommended. Note it down. Always use the data source, not the item itself. I mean the main page item itself, but use a separate data source. Here in the main section, here we need to provide the data because we already have different data, right? So let me copy paste the exact data that it has. So now I am going to go with here. So let me uh, let me copy the data. This is the data we need here for uh, text. First one is that one. Save this one, and then in the image for now just we'll leave it blank, but we'll definitely use that one. And links for now I'm just so let me go in the insert link. Let me just select that home, which is easiest for us now. And then the description, we are gonna use this one, which is basically be the description of the links, and save it. Now let me quickly use the text 2, and the text 2 we have this text, which is I'm bringing it from my other screen and save it, right? And then text 3 we have this one. Whatever the data that you have already, just use it, that's all. And then in the image, I'm not gonna use the image because that is coming from the style automatically. And the promo uh, image promo link 2. So in the promo link 2, I'm using basically the same hey for now the same item, just that description slightly differently. And then promo link 3, which is basically the same again. Oh, sorry, not icon, promo link. So I'm gonna use that same, but this time the title would be this one for now. Okay, save it. Once you save and refresh, that's all done. So now there are a couple of things we did, so we don't need this one. Delete. And well, um, this is also this. So there are a couple of things repeating, so we don't need this repetition anymore. So let me remove this one as well. I'm just gonna make the same thing, but this one now is completely dynamic. You can select each of them. You can basically select this one. This link is also dynamic. You can do that one. Icon is not dynamic though, but that's not a problem for us. Okay, so now I'm gonna publish. So that's all for today, guys. Let me quickly publish the site, and we are going to finish the video here. It's already over maybe 20 minutes or so. But anyway, I mean, the concept is there. So what you have is, I quickly show you how can you create your website quite easily, right? Now here in the website that we have, you'll see, sorry, not here. So what is the name of the website? It's Everyday Things, right? Yep. So here they are all designing correctly coming. This one is basically my thingy, dynamic thing now. So how would you know that they are basically pointing to the home item? So that's why you know they are actually dynamic. And then yeah, and also these three, you want to prove that once, and then SC edit. So oh, sorry, this is a website context. Anyway, I mean, that's all. So fun, that's all for today, guys, and hope you like this video. If you do, give me a thumbs up. That will definitely encourage me to create my next video, and also share if you want to, and let me know if you have any question. I would be really happy to give you the answer. And lastly, what I'm going to do is next video I'm going to create a dynamic component from the scratch. Like, I'm not going to reuse the existing one, which is also recommended by the way, but not going to reuse, but a new one. Sometimes you need that one. And what is the easy, I mean, how easily you create that, and that would be my second next video. Till then, bye bye and have a good day.